everyone. We are reviewing the Netflix movie Wendell and Wild. Now, this one comes from the creators. I don't know I don't know the last name of the Henry guy, but also Jordan Peele is also a creator of this movie as well, which also got me excited because I love like Jordan Peele's storytelling. I love his films, and it's just to see him do an animated movie would be so interesting. So yeah,
I liked it. I mean, it gives me the Nightmare Before Christmas vibes.
that's kind of what they were kind of going for, because the whole thing about with Tim Burton, and Tim Burton always said, well, I don't know if he said it multiple times, but he said that you know he just feels like in his movies he doesn't see black people as part of his creative vision. And yeah, because I think I don't know who said it. Someone asked him like, "Would you ever think of kind of the same thing of when they asked Stephen King, like, would you think of like diversifying your movies or adding this type of character?" And Stephen King kind of said the same thing. Was just like, yeah, I just don't see that as part of my creative, vision.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So most definitely, it the hype behind it was just the fact that it had the animation style of a Tim Burton, and it was coming from create like screenplay writers and just creators who were just like, we are going to focus on putting black people in these starting roles. So that's really where the hype came from, and honestly, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
For
It
sure.
was a solid. It was a solid movie. I have no negatives
Yeah,
about it other than like
it's definitely different than from like something you would typically see from like a Tim Burton. It's it is definitely like, and as far as like the animation style, it is different, but I feel like the story was good. Characters, phenomenal. I mean, having like the main character, the way how when she gets to the school, she kind of has this kind of like goth, you know, like alt, like
punk.
yeah, like punk kind of look.
Her boombox was lit too.
Yeah, the boombox is definitely lit. And I feel like this is kind of like a somewhat of a Halloween movie, but not technically a Halloween movie. Even though it did come out in like October, but
I could see it
I don't
being.
see it as like the typical Halloween movie. Like it's kind of like with Nightmare Before Christmas. Like you can watch it.
Anytime kind of
Yeah,
thing.
It
Yeah, I
gave
can
me.
see
It's
it.
giving me PJ vibes. It's looking like
That's what got me.
PJ.
That's what got me, bro. It kind of did. It kind of did give you the PJ vibes, especially the demons.
Well, I told you, super.
The demons. I like the demons were like black as well, so like
mm-hmm.
it was funny with them. Then I like her best friend or the side character, the
Yeah,
sidekick Raul.
Raul. Yeah,
I just didn't like the fact that they pushed the this whole woke trans agenda.
we kind of talked about this off camera, but I didn't see like a woke push. Yeah, you do have a trans character there, and it does like you said, the mom does say like, yeah, this is my son, not my daughter. But still, like when me watching this movie is like, okay, he's trans. On to the story. Like he's just a character.
Right. That's
Yeah.
how. That's yeah. I'm fine with that. But it was like it's the fact that they're trying to push that one scene, not that one scene, but the two scenes about it was with the priest was making a note about it, where it was like kept calling the daughter as like a rude. It was very disrespectful. It was
Mm-hmm.
like it should be known as she's a son, like she wants to be known as a boy,
Mm-hmm.
and like that was happening. And then it was like he said that like she said kept saying that, but like you didn't have to do that. Like I was saying like I guess it's also because I went to Catholic school. It's kind of irritating to be like there's no such thing as co-ed Catholic schools. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of irritating. There's plenty of co-ed Catholic schools.
I mean, depending on your perspective, I can understand. Like from your perspective and your experiences, like you could feel some type of way about it. But I mean, for
like,
the average person, it's just like
and then like
because the average person doesn't know that there are co-ed, like because a lot of people when they think about like the Catholic religion, they think of just a very strict, you know just by the Bible, by the book. So we think of just all girls schools, all boys schools.
right, and that's why I say they push that agenda in this. Like as you just pointed out,
I
that
don't
like
feel,
they
I
where they
still don't feel like
use
they
Catholic
pushed it, but
schools, they use Catholic schools to be strict and everything like that. That is true.
Mhm.
And in that case, just make the school co-ed. I ain't say anything about not making it Catholic. You can still make it co-ed, because like, where's the inclusiveness for this girl then, or for the dude? You get what I'm saying? There's like you don't even include the Raul in the school. She goes to an all girls school. She doesn't want to be seen as a girl, so why not make the school co-ed? I'm even pushing for. I'm pushing for. I'm not saying I don't want it not to be like. I'm trying to make it inclusive, and you wouldn't like they wouldn't even do that. Like my high school did that. Like we were all boys school, and then we ended up becoming a co-ed school, so we could let all the sexes in. So it's like it doesn't matter in that regard. So in this case, you like when I say they're pushing the agenda, it's like you
they
didn't
just you feel like they made it a little too obvious that
like
this character is trans. Like you could have easily said the character is trans,
or just not
without
said anything. We all would have seen that she's like that's a girl, and then like and I'm also have the conversation, still have that part where the mom goes, "That's you're calling my son a daughter, like a girl." Still have that conversation in the movie because that did show. Like I did like that part,
Mhm.
but it was just it's like yo, you're pushing the agenda of being like woke, not woke, but like of like saying
saying that there's still like
yeah,
discrimination
you're putting
within.
two messages in a movie where I wanted one. That's what I'm trying to say. The one message where it's like the black girl is the main character. She finds that like no one understands her and she's alone in this, but yet in the real reality she's not alone, and that she's always had a family and her family never like it wasn't her fault. All that like that's the story I was looking for, and that's the story I like. I'm going for it for the movie, but then you also slip another thing. You know what I mean? It's like slipping something else in where it's like, oh, okay, I guess. All right. I mean, that's how it made me. You know what I mean? I guess what I'm saying is you putting that in took away from the main
I
characters.
can understand your perspective from
And then what I did, well, I also like the you got drug use in this. That drug use was wild.
That's also why I was saying like, yeah, this is definitely PG-13. This is like, yeah, like Nightmares Before Christmas was rated G, but this is definitely PG-13. I can see why, because like Wendell and Wild both using the hair cream to kind of technically get high was hilarious.
Like, yo, you eating that? Yeah,
It's
makes
like,
my
yeah,
tummy feel funny.
and then you just see it's just like visioning like, oh my god, it was definitely hilarious. But I do like kind of the things that they talk about. They do kind of somewhat talk about mental health in this, because when her parents died, she just kind of feels very guilty about it. She feels like it's her fault. She ends up getting into trouble in school, like going from school to school, just getting in trouble. Now she's going to this Catholic school, hoping that this will just straighten her up.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on in the movie, when she finds the other nun who was like, "Yo, I'm a hell maiden just like you, and we gotta help you get through this before this thing takes over you."
Mm-hmm.
And basically, she's just going through. It's kind of like she went through like a quick therapy session.
Yeah, but it's also through the teen phase because she was very rebellious. Because I feel bad because like even the other hell maiden, the nun, she was trying to look out from day one. Day one, like
As soon as she saw the mark,
I knew what was up, but don't say nothing. And then she had the super speed. She had the super speed on your boy.
Yeah, that was her power.
I don't know. I like the fact also that the three girls that were there. You know how like some movies they give you like the click,
Yeah.
that girl click, and I was like, expecting them to be brutally.
just naughty and stuff.
Oh,
like that,
I was like,
they were very welcoming.
Yeah, and then it was hella nice. We call it KK. I was like, okay, KK, what's up? All right, now they cool. And then like come to find out, one of the girls was like the villain's parents. I mean, that was her. She's her parents were the villain.
Yeah.
And she turned. I was like, yo, I like this. I like that. I don't know. I
Giving them some type of moral.
yeah, it's just not the same.
Even though they're young, they still have a sense. They still to keep their sense of moral.
It's not the same stereotype, not the same faux pas as they would say for of the high school clique bully girls. I like that. And then the animation.
That was really what impressed me on Mulan, was the animation style, like just the overall animation. That was really what impressed me the most. Just it did give me a lot of nostalgia because it did remind me of like a Tim Burton film,
Mm-hmm.
and just, but it was kind of like you could tell it was claymation, but it was like 3D ish, like it was kind of like a mixture of like old school and new school animation.
Yeah.
And it gave it a very crisp look. Like just watching it, like there were some times like I had to like go back and like rewatch it because it's like I'm missing some of the story because I'm just so hypnotized by the animation. It's just like you could tell it's kind of claymation style, but it's just so crisp, you know.
The score was what got me more than the animation though.
Oh yeah.
Whoever did the scoring for this,
Oh yeah, definitely.
like I at certain points you would turn the TV up just because the beat was slamming. Her beat when it was the parents, like the demons, I like the entrepreneurship. They really push entrepreneuring in this, which it was dope because the demon Wendell and
when they wanted to have
Dream.
their own, they wanted to have their own theme park.
Dream Park. Your boy was all for it. He's like, we gonna make our own theme park. It's better than this. They had full dreams,
it's
bro.
better than putting like hair cream on their dad's head.
Oh my god, that was the funniest thing. And then it brought people back to life for a little bit of time. That was hilarious. Hilarious.
Like when they brought back the
priest was
it
wild.
was just like, yo, the man's neck is like all scrunched up. You can tell he's still dead. Like, come on, man.
Yo, they made my boy a hunchback. Knocked this shit so far down like this. Boy,
it's like, yo, like it's been like
the violence in this was hilarious. I will say that the violence in this, they beat homie's ass brutally, and then threw him in the water.
Like like for an animated movie, this is definitely like.
And then the ending where they had to square up against the bulldozers, and the Hell Maidens.
Now that was like not as wild as like you getting hit over the head with a club and drowned. Like, come on.
Yeah, that was something serious. That was something serious. The boy said, "Ka-toom," and they just sploosh. Animation though. I was like, what is an animation? It was hardcore.
I mean, it's not as wild as like DC animated films, but it was just like whoa.
And I always keep forgetting. Like I feel like at one point when you be like, do we stop trusting demons? People be so quick to trust a demon, even though it's an animation. Animations, even when you get further in Cabinets of Curiosity. Just as bad. I mean, you may get what
all
you
these
need.
films where people make deals with demons and it goes bad because, like, yeah, I learned from that. Like,
You know what I mean?
That's a movie.
I don't know, not one.
Of course, the movie I'm gonna write. If I'm writing a movie about demons, of course I'm gonna write it to benefit that you shouldn't be fucking with demons.
Oh yeah.
But in reality, demon might be all right because, like,
know what I'm
again,
saying?
you talking about something. A demon is lying to us. Our government, our president,
Could be some demons in there.
our politicians. How many people got to keep lying to you before you just trust anybody at this point?
Remember back in the day when they be like was it Malcolm X be like the devil and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
All them civil rights people be like, this politician's the devil and whatnot. We all think they just crazy, but
Yep.
mathing.
I'm just saying, we haven't had a problem with a demon in real life.
I've never-
besides possessing people.
Well,
Mhm.
I've never met a possessed person.
I've never
either.
met a possessed
I've
person.
never met a possessed person. Well, no, I should
Only
say
seen
that.
them in movies.
I've seen a couple possessed looking people, but I've also seen them like they just strung out on drugs. Like,
Right. That
I
could
don't know.
be.
That
Could be the
be,
motivator.
you know what I mean? That could be an influence. Maybe the demon is there, but then I just give them some water and just keep pushing.
All right.
You know, what is life?
I mean, he also saw like like some kind of like politics in this as well, because with the whole voting within the small town, and then the
Oh
wild
yeah,
thing
yeah.
about it is that when he brought back all the cabin members, and they're like, well, they're technically living, so their vote counts. Like,
It does.
they're corpse.
It doesn't
They're whole
matter.
skeletons. Come on now. Like,
Living corpse,
why?
living corpse.
No way.
Those are the moments where you got to put into the guideline. That's why like there's guidelines now that be having shit that be like even if you're
It's
dead,
idiot proof.
you can't. You know what I'm saying?
You got an idiot proof.
You gotta
this
put-
type of shit. Like really?
Like, oh, we got to put that into the bylaw.
Like
Must be flesh and bones, not just bones to vote. You know,
It's
you
like
gotta.
like all living. This does not include undead. Like
Even that, even the undead, because even if it's undead, it's still living. If if you're a zombie and you're walking around, are you technically alive? Huh? I don't know. So these are philosopher questions.
so, when it comes to this film, what would you rate?
I'm gonna give it a 6.
You gotta explain that to me. Like a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, the story was alright, bro. The story was good, and the only thing that got me was the animation and the score, bro. The animation, the graphics for it, and then the soundtrack. But like once you start adding too many messages in this, like we gotta watch out for big business. You gotta watch out for like woke like transphobia
I mean, I think it's
people.
a good
You gotta
way.
work out.
I think it's a good way to like kind of plant those seeds in the younger generation. So
That's what I'm saying. Why? That took like I'm not saying not to plant seeds, but you know, PBS was that. You know what I mean? Like NPR would do that. I feel like when I watch like Wendell, I'm watching this, I'm expecting just to be cinematically captivated, and I was, but just like I don't know, too many stories. Again, all I'm saying is limit how much messages you're trying to send through these movies.
I mean, a lot of very popular movies and like really great movies have had multiple messages, hidden messages. So, I
Like-
guess for you, you don't like you wouldn't like it, but some people it's just me. I give this film. Honestly, I'm gonna just be honest. I give it a 10 out of 10. I like that. I love the animation. I love the story. The score was just amazing. It was just perfectly done. And for this, like, I don't think Jordan Peele's done a animated film before this one. So for it to be like his like animated debut, definitely a masterpiece. So his review is 6 out of 10. I'm a 10 out of 10. Anybody else who's watched Wendell and Wild, you know, comment below. Tell us what your rating is, what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. You know, this has been another nerdy review. You know, we got more on the way. Like, and if you have like a show that you wanted to watch or a movie you wanted to watch and review, comment that underneath too.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely give it a shot.
I'm thinking of the choices Bollywood as a topics, or
This man's obsessed with Bollywood.
I just watched one
Not for
thing today,
nothing. It's entertaining.
It's
stupid as
insane,
fuck, but
like-
it's entertaining.
and it's on Netflix. It's on they're showing it to the U.S. market, so I might as well hop on the train, do like something, like get something, and it's just a different outlook on cinematic worlds.
Are there any other movies y'all gonna be reviewing for upcoming future? Y'all got in mind?
Yeah, the one. Well,
Well, we know that we're soon gonna be reviewing,
Black Adam, right?
yeah, Black Adam. We'll give y'all a review for Wakanda Forever as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Since
see
it's-
that.
I mean, that's obvious, of course. And from scratch,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
gonna get into that show as well. So we got a lot coming to you.
I heard
so,
it might cry.
Yeah, I've been told from a few people that. Well, for the one person told me that they cried during from scratch was because they went through it personally, so they felt it from like their own perspective. They felt it, but I don't know.
I'm gonna be like, I'm
We'll
gonna be
see.
like solid like a rock, just like.
All right, we'll see. This has been another nerdy review. We just reviewed Wendell and Wild. Stay nerdy.